Hey, welcome to Queer Conversations, everyone. I am your host, G of Vergy TV. I'm here every Tuesday, 6 p.m. EST, sharing LGBTQ stories and allies. And today we have my greatest ally, David Muir, photographer extraordinaire, artist, entrepreneur. Welcome, David.
Welcome.
Yes, thank you for joining me.
You're welcome.
You were here. Oh, look, David has joined us.
That's right. That's what
Yes,
I'm trying to do
good.
right here.
So David is going to be sharing this on his page. For everyone out there watching, please share it on your pages. We're going to have a dynamic discussion here about David as a photographer and entrepreneur, and also as my former husband, aka
G right here is what you. Or,
amazing.
Sorry, G right.
G right. Yeah,
All
I dropped
right.
the Muir for Facebook. I'm working on it. We'll see what happens. So yes, so
Ta-da!
ta-da.
All right.
So welcome everyone
Yeah,
here.
man. Awesomeness.
Yes. So David,
G.
there's so much to talk about.
Let's get into it.
Let's get into it. I want to start with you as a photographer.
Okay.
So how did you start with being a photographer?
Which one of the versions you want? The long version or the short Facebook Live version?
The short Facebook Live version.
Okay. Well, I've always loved photography. I was a photographer, apprentice to my life.
Okay.
From I was probably like 10 or 11 years old.
Okay.
Um,
So there's real cameras with film in it.
yeah.
I shouldn't say they're not real now, but meaning
They're,
film.
they're
yeah.
still real. But yeah, definitively, I have been loving things to do with photography, entertainment, music my whole life. And when I was a youngster, in Jamaica, I go to high school at 10, 11.
Yes.
And so since I've been going to high school, I've been playing with cameras. I became seriously interested in photography, mostly because my ex-wife,
Me.
that's right, always wanted lots of pictures of the family, and secondarily, at some point she ran for office, and as a function of helping the wife to get what she wanted, I sort of undertook photography a lot more seriously at that point.
Yeah, good man.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's
great.
kind of like the how I got in, and
Right.
then one thing led to another. So I've been shooting so many different things.
Yeah, some people tell me they see you everywhere. We're in Fort Lauderdale, and you go to Urban League event, like tons of events. You're there shooting it. How did that come into being for you?
Well, I mean, how did it come into being? I was working full-time as a social worker.
Okay.
I worked at Memorial Hospital. That was my last full-time job.
Yeah.
And basically, I decided I didn't want to work for people anymore. I wanted to work for myself. And I had to decide what was I going to do to work for myself.
Right.
I love photography, just the same way that I love many other things, other interests in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And I determined that, this is what I was going to dedicate and focus the rest of my life doing as a serious venture. It's now led me into many other things.
Right.
But photography was something that, because I loved it and because it fit who I wanted to be, it was easy to do. So I figured out how I would position myself as a photographer. There's so many areas of photography that it made the decision for me, I had to be very strategic. What types of photography?
Right.
How would I want to be perceived? What are the things that I would want to do as a photographer? And after considering all the different parts, I moved forward. And I mean, yeah.
Well, I want to acknowledge and thank you because David shoots all of the Thou Art Woman events.
I do.
And your style of shooting is kind of like a visual storytelling where people can see the pictures and get a sense of what happened, the energy of the evening. And I especially love that. I hardly put non-professional pictures on the Instagram page, but so the page is really, go to Thou Art Woman on Instagram and follow David Muir, right? We have the links that's going to go up. David Muir on Instagram. And you see like the way he captures. You do a lot of concerts as well, right?
I do.
Yeah, and a lot of beautiful women.
It works.
Yeah.
Those are some of the things I love. I love music.
Music.
I love women.
Yes.
And I love
food.
That's right.
Food.
So
Yes.
those are my greatest loves.
Woman, music, food.
Yeah.
Yes. People, your family.
Yeah, people.
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah. Well, thank you everyone for joining us. Hey, Karen, it's funny. I was just at an event and I had on a bow tie, and someone said, "Oh, it's the bow tie girl." I was like, "Well, no. I'm wearing a bow tie, and I'm a girl, but I'm not the bow tie girl. That is Karen Fresca." So, yeah. But I don't know if you get that. Like someone thinks that you're me, but I've gotten a couple times people think that I'm you. So, yeah. Cool. Big up, yeah, man. So we just jumped in with David. So we've been friends. For a very long time. We don't have to say the years, but it's a long time, right?
Fair.
Fair, yeah. So I think that when people look at us, so for people who don't know, because a lot of people don't know me or you, I want to share that. So David is my former husband, aka Sexy Exy, and we were married for 17 years. We have 2 sons together, and 3 sons overall, and more, but so yes, we had a long marriage, beautiful marriage, and then I came out fully as a lesbian and gender non-conforming, and he continues to support me. So for people who don't know, I say he's my greatest ally because he's my greatest ally. When we were married, he was the one who pushed me to be myself. It was one of my greatest forces. I had other people too, but you're my greatest force. What is that like for you in terms of, and we're both Jamaican, you know, he's more Jamaican than me, but we're both Jamaican.
For sure.
Yes, so what was that like for you in terms of you and in terms of being a Jamaican man?
Well, I don't consider myself a Jamaican man when it comes to stereotypes.
Okay.
So
that's a good point.
Anything that's a stereotypical anything is not what I consider myself.
Right, okay. Fair.
So I don't fall into the man category. I don't fall into the Jamaican category if it's stereotypical. When it comes to just being me, authentic me, 100%, for me it was very easy. I grew up in a very homophobic country, absolutely. Culturally, it's understood that everyone is supposed to dislike or even hate gay.
Right, exactly.
So having grown up that way, I had to, sort of come away from the culture of my country to come to a place where I was accepting of gay or whatever phrase we're going to put,
right.
whether it's lesbian, whatever it is,
right.
as not being an abomination.
Right.
I had to come to my own realization that, hey, people are people, and in the same way, I mean, for those who don't get it, you won't get it.
Right.
But I had to come to my own realization. I learned that people are people, and that I'm going to love. I love people, and I'm going to love
David's
people.
A people person.
Yeah, I'm a people person. I'm going to love you regardless of how you identify, what you think, what you feel. If there are people who I find to be offensive to my own sensibilities, and I'll tell you, for me, generally, it's going to be about being honest, ethical, fair, balanced. Those are the things that I care about. People who can treat other people with respect and love. And if you don't fall into those categories, then you're just not going to be the type of person I want to be around. I don't judge anybody else's opinion. Somebody who is homophobic, I grew up homophobic.
Yeah.
It's okay. I'm not judging them.
Right.
I'm just not going to
be there
with them.
Yeah.
I've left those things in my childhood.
Yeah.
As a grown man with my own thoughts and my own feelings, I reject hatred of any kind.
Right.
And I certainly reject hatred of people because of them being themselves. That makes no sense.
No sense.
If I could understand if someone is a hateful person, so in their ways they want to be hurting other people, they want to kill people or harm people. I want to distance myself from those types of people because they are people who are perpetrating hate.
Right.
But no person who is purely themselves can offend me because I embrace people as they are.
That's the best way.
Guess what? I am going to be me, unapologetically so.
Definitely.
That's who I am. So I live my life in that space.
I love it. And we're losing this comment, but Karen was saying hello to us. Hey, Karen.
Hey,
and that
Karen, for
I
sure.
should be one of the bow tie girl ambassadors. Yeah, we could talk about that. And we
good
don't.
idea.
Yeah, we don't look anything alike, but once we get dressed, people do feel.
And people make assumptions
Assumptions,
and generalizations.
yes,
So
yeah.
in the same way that you introduce either like this whole Jamaican man, I'm like, I don't subscribe to that thinking.
Well, you're a Jamaican man,
all.
but you just don't subscribe to like the stereotypical views of being
no
homophobic.
stereotypical views of any
Right,
category.
any category. I
Yeah.
like that a lot.
I'm just me.
Yeah. Hey, Jasmine, thanks for joining. Hey, Trudy, and thank you everyone for joining. And I like to share because I think it's important that I was also homophobic, and David was one of the first people to help open my mind. I had two experiences. One was friends or twins, boys, Jamaican in New York City when I was living there, and they both were gay. That was very helpful, traumatic, but helpful for me to start to open my mind. And then David was working with, this is in Manhattan, and working with in a small office that had a lot of guys who were gay, and he would come over and just tell me stories. You remember this? You tell me stories about like that. These guys were regular people. I hadn't really had that kind of experience and exposure. So and we were in our young 20s at the time, and
Definitely. Growing up in Jamaica, I had not experienced this.
Yeah, so
regular people who are
openly
normal,
gay, regular. He was like, these
folks
people are just like
we're just
us.
gay.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow.
This right.
Gay is okay. Like these are people who I like and trust and
So that was very
communicate
helpful.
with, and I was like, yeah. So like,
So that
I
started to help.
could certainly turn off all these, misconceptions about what it is to be something other than what I was.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if anybody has any questions, please ask questions. We have David here. He's my former husband. He's my baby father, and he's an amazing dad, amazing person. Helps me a lot in my life. So if you have any questions for him, you can feel free to ask. He's also been an entrepreneur for how long?
If we're going to put a timeline on it, I've probably been an entrepreneur the better part of 35 and more years.
Yes.
I've definitely been in entertainment at least 35 years.
Yes.
I would say entrepreneur at least 35 years. Let's just say a little bit more, but at least that.
Yes. So I want to talk a little bit about this because there is something in our society that I think instills fear in a lot of people to start their own businesses, and that there's something that encourages us to join the workforce, stay in the workforce, retire, and then if you're lucky you get to live and travel, but lots of people don't get the opportunity. So you should work to your 62 or 65 and then you got a few more years and that's it. So what is it like that makes you first of all feel the courage? I think it does take courage, right?
Oh, definitely.
And what advice would you have to people who are maybe they might, I don't know the percentages, but they might be 50% more people who would actually leave the workforce and have their own business but are afraid. So talk to us a little bit about that and how you could, like, what you feel like your sense of for yourself and fear and overcoming. If you had the fear, like, did you have the fear?
Oh, everybody has fears, and I have fears still today.
Yeah.
I don't let fears control my action. So absolutely, I mean, I'm always going to have fears about many things in my life. And so, yes, in the origin, in the inception of me becoming an entrepreneur, I had no fears because I had no risk. There was no thing that I could lose that I had
Because you were a child.
reason to fear. Exactly.
Yeah, David was a businessman. I met him when he was 18. He was already like established as a businessman.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yes.
I've been doing business from a very young age.
Yes.
And yeah, so I've never not done something because of a fear of what I might lose, and what you might gain is the reason that motivates it. So for me, I think that the key to being an entrepreneur and being a good one is understanding yourself. The thing is, you really can't do much in life unless you know yourself.
Right.
And once you know yourself, then you can accomplish anything you want, because then you know how you will work and you know how you will execute the things that you plan. The key to any great business is getting yourself in a place where you are going to provide something that someone else needs. Whether it be a product or a service, it doesn't even matter what it is that you're doing. There has to be a demand. There has to be a need for it.
Right.
And if there's a perception of a need for something, then there's a business opportunity.
And that's what
there.
you've been doing. Yeah, well, David
Pretty
started
much,
off
yeah.
when we were teenagers. He did parties at. Is there just like a green line there? What's that? I don't know. Anyway, he was doing parties and charging teenagers. It was a lot of money, but what is that? I just noticed it. You see this?
Yeah, I see it, but I don't know if it's important.
Okay, so it's just
I
weird.
think it may be like a box around the words
okay,
scrolling up and down the screen.
So you can look there. So but David
yeah,
was
it doesn't show
okay,
again.
cool. So we just see a weird thing here, but it's okay.
No man,
See?
it's
Oh, it's
crystal
not there.
clear.
Oh wow.
Pretty, pretty, pretty,
Whoa.
pretty.
Is it me or are we just like outstandingly good looking?
Well, I know I am.
Yeah, I think I know I am too. But yes, let me pick up Angeline in Jamaica who says, OMG, entrepreneurship, interesting for today of all days. Well, that's good. I love when we have a topic and people feel like they feel connected to it. So I was saying that David has been an entrepreneur since he's a teenager and really like finding that need. People wanted to have socialize, right? People always want to socialize.
Definitely.
So David was able to tap into
Definitely.
that and make money. And I remember I never paid to go into parties, like, because you always were either hosting them or taking me to parties where people, you were just like in that world, you know? So that was really a good idea. Yeah, and you still are doing it today. You went into the workforce.
I've been in and out of the workforce.
Yeah,
but,
you got
but
a couple college degrees.
I did.
Yeah.
I did.
Right.
A couple of those.
Yeah.
But you know what though? Sincerely, like when you think back about the stuff that I did, everything that what happened.
No, I'm just wondering about my background. It's usually
Oh,
me.
sorry.
I don't know what I see.
Let-
I don't
let
want
me-
to.
let me
I don't
fix
want.
up-
Yeah, thank
let
you. I
me
don't
fix
want
up
to look at it
the
after.
background. We
and
don't
see.
want to be like, oh.
No.
All right.
Yeah, I'm a
So-
neat freak.
So for me though, for real, in terms of being an entrepreneur, most everything I've done is because I love it.
Yes.
So like when I was doing music, it was because I
Yeah.
love music.
So David was a DJ. We don't want to overwhelm you with all the things he's done,
it's
but
too
he
much.
was a DJ for decades.
Definitely.
Decades. Yes, very popular.
And
one of
so in the music / party promotion / all the other parts, whether it be artist management or just all the different parts to do with music and entertainment, that's just a passion and a love, and it was very easy. And I'm very happy that I was able to accomplish a lot in those fields. But in all the things that I've done, there has to be an interest and a passion for me, because that's what makes it not be work.
Right,
You know,
right,
when you get
right.
to enjoy your life doing things you love, then it's not work.
Yes.
So that's really for me.
I
That's
love
the
that.
beauty.
I love that.
Yeah.
I relate to that. I've been enjoying, producing the Art Woman. There's some parts that's not exciting, like right now working on a grant and having to do a budget and feeling like I have a headache. But other than that, like I'm enjoying it. So I feel like if you can find the things that you enjoy, definitely. And you can do that in a traditional job as well, of course.
Yeah, man.
Right.
For real.
But entrepreneurship, you kind of get to build what you want to do. So any questions? You got David here. Ask David some questions. Don't get nervous.
All thousands of you, don't
Yeah.
put them all at the same time, but bring the questions.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And Angeline, I see you saying OMG, entrepreneurship is interesting.
Of all days today,
Right?
why?
So why? Ask a question, send something here. But I do want to say this, and it's interesting, because, obviously as time has gone on, I have become somewhat of a serial entrepreneur. I've
Right.
started multiple businesses.
Mhm.
And there's always a perception, because people assume that I'm doing extremely well. And I'm going to tell you, I'm very grateful. I have done very well. But I always need business. So I'm
Yeah.
going to advocate for people who are watching. If you've seen me, if you've been intrigued by the work that I do, I am always open to new business.
Yes.
I have a great client base, and so I stay busy. But
right. And
you
so this is
always
in terms of
need to
photography,
grow.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, in
So I
terms of
think
any
some-
of my businesses,
yeah.
but since people know me primarily today as a photographer, I
Right.
speak specifically to photography and the other businesses that come out of photography. So if you want to shoot anything from still photos to motion, videos, whatever it is,
Events.
yeah, but not limited to events, but yeah,
Right.
events included, anything that needs to be documented, I'm in the
Right.
business.
Yeah.
So I would highly recommend that you check out our pages. We have a number of different pages. I'm sure that Cairo, our son, who is sharing,
Cairo,
all
have you
of the
sharing?
things.
You sharing the links?
I love you too, Anne-Marie Brown.
Oh, hey, Anne-Marie, thanks for joining.
So yeah, just please, always know. There's always this thing where people think, yeah, David has enough business. He's doing so well. I can always use
Always send
more
more.
and new business.
Right.
New business is critical, because at some point in time, some of the businesses that you service don't do
Have
as
a need.
much. They don't have as much greater need. When you've done great work for them, they can kind of chill.
Yeah.
So I just again remind everybody to consider that entrepreneurs like myself, running small and or big business, always need new business. If even not for me to be able to pay staff and to hire people and to
Right.
grow that business, it's always critical. So please for any services in photography, cinematography, video. I mean, even to some other extent, the other parts of the business include things like publication. If you need stuff written, if you're looking for freelance work to be done in editing and writing and so on, we have the staff that takes care of those needs. So definitely, always consider us. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that we could talk about.
Do you want to talk about the event that you have, or do you want to talk about a magazine? Because you have a lot, so we could.
Right. I don't know if we should go into those things deep, because I know you want to talk about some of the things that we've done together and about our overall relationship. Okay. But I'll say this.
I want to make sure we shared about you. But yeah, we can get into that.
So definitively, in terms of sharing about me, everyone who's out there, definitely, if you still go to traditional websites, I highly recommend you go to islandorigins.mag.com. So we have a magazine. It is spectacular. It talks, it's the voice of my people, the people of the Caribbean, who I consider my people since I was born and raised in the Caribbean, in Jamaica specifically. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So definitely, traditional website. Kai, if you can put it out there, that's great. IslandOriginsMag.com. IslandOriginsMag.com.
Our assistant here.
Our assistant is watching that video.
You put your dad's website. We got our son here.
If you can, put IslandOriginsMag.com in the feed.
And then, is it on my timeline?
Here we go. I started multiple businesses. Many I started when I was younger, so I kind of wasn't ready for what I stepped into. Others I had to stop due to the cash flow issues. Mm-hmm. But now I'm older, I'm revisiting, and again it says see more. Oh, come on. We can not be afraid. I'm revisiting earlier ideas. Okay, excellent. Good. I'm going to say that's a wonderful comment. Still looking for questions for anyone who has questions.
Yeah. But so we could go into our friendship and talk a little bit about.
Sure. I'm sure that there are a lot of people who watch Queer Conversations that wonder, well, where's the queer conversation today?
Right. So this is a queer conversation because I'm queer, LGBTQ, and someone else is saying, I love having this. Though? Hearing this. Oh, hearing this.
Because fear has really held me back.
So let me share a little bit on entrepreneurship before we go into
Yeah, and even before you do, I'm going to say one other thing to Angelina, anybody else who's considering being an entrepreneur. Mm-hmm. Fear is healthy. Mm-hmm. Fear is healthy because it helps you, if you use that fear, to be prepared for what can happen. So a big part of entrepreneurship is planning, and not just planning, but strategic planning, execution, etc. So use the fear to guide your process and how you are ready to do business. But don't let it stop you from doing business. Yeah. As a matter of fact, be sure that when you feel the fear, use that fear to accelerate how you are going to execute the things that you want. Because that fear can be a fuel, an energy for getting past the things that are going to be obstacles. But you had said you wanted to say something.
Yeah, just I guess along the line of fear, and I feel like we just have this one life to live, right? As far as we know. And you can live in a comfort zone where you know everything is predictable. So I had a traditional job as a lawyer, and what I call my dream job. I loved working for that organization. I love the people, I love the work I did, but I knew there was more for me, including owning my time, right? I feel that there's something very odd for me to go to someone to ask them for my own time. And wow, I feel like I was gonna get emotional. So, So it's a challenge because financially it was easier for me when I was traditionally employed, and it was much more predictable. So I still have some challenges, but the fact that I own my time is very powerful for me, and that I'm doing something that I feel completely drawn to sharing LGBTQ stories, to creating spaces like Thou Art Woman. So it just pulls me in, and I feel like because I only have this one life, I'd rather take all this risk than sit comfortably and knowing every 2 weeks there's a direct deposit. I'm fine, but then I don't get to do some of the things I want to do. So Karen says, yes, fear is very healthy. It should not stop you. I have what is it saying? Act in spite of. Yeah, exactly. So I think that's great. So everybody wants to be an entrepreneur. We know there's challenges, there's
not
fears.
Everybody.
No, so everybody who wants to be. No, everybody doesn't want to be an entrepreneur. No. The world won't work that way because entrepreneurs actually need to hire staff. So it doesn't make sense to everybody, and lots of people do want that, and don't want to. It takes a lot of work. It's a lot of work, you know. So people like feel like it's more comfortable to go into someone's job and leave it at 5 o'clock. Why are you looking at me like that?
No, no, no.
Oh, okay.
I don't think that's how people should think. But yeah.
No, there are people who like, I don't want, no, but meaning that there's some people who feel like it's easier to go into an office for somebody, get there 9, leave at 5.
Oh, that is
check
easier
in.
for some people.
Yeah, check in, check
It is
out.
probably easier for everybody.
It is easier.
Because being an entrepreneur is
It's not
certainly not easy.
It isn't easy.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful, tons of great rewards, but easy it is
No,
not.
yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, this is my brother. Thanks for joining, Rich. Yeah, so we've talked about entrepreneurship. English.
Are you saying on top of entrepreneurship?
On top of. So speaking on entrepreneurship, and David is a photographer. Hire him. Sometimes people think that he's so established. He has a book called Pieces of Jamaica. He travels. People hire him that they feel he's inaccessible. He's not inaccessible. He's actually very accessible, and he can shoot for you. So we'll talk about our friendship.
Okay.
Friendship from the beginning.
From when?
Till death does us part.
Right.
But just not as a couple. Right?
It's the way the world works. It's amazing.
Yeah.
But you know what? And I don't know how many people see this video. Wow.
Let's see.
Jasmine.
Let me see here. Jasmine says, remembering that I'll be dead soon is the most important tool I've encountered to help me make the big choices in life. Because almost everything, all external expectations, all pride, all fear. Can you press it? I'm always afraid to press the screen. Oh, here we go. All pride, all fear of embarrassment or failure, these things just fall away in the face of death, leaving only what is truly important. Steve Jobs. I was like, wow, Jasmine, that's great. But thank you for sharing that. Yes. Yeah.
I love this question. Angeline, David, did you have any failures along the way? Absolutely.
Yeah.
We had a failure business together. We started a business called Bronx Biz.
Oh, that was so disappointing.
We were trying to be the cutting edge of, the website boom.
Yeah, this is in the 90s.
In the mid to late 90s.
Late 90s.
And we started our own...
like a directory?
Yeah,
a
data
business.
directory.
We were living in the Bronx, New York, and
so
did
we
that.
started Bronx Biz, and we were doing like this, a yellow pages for businesses in the Bronx, and that was not successful.
No, it wasn't. People didn't care. People were like, we don't want this, right?
Yeah, it was.
That's the thing. The key was the need.
The need, yeah.
People didn't have. People have to have that need.
We were fulfilling what we thought people would need, and not actually what people needed.
They're like, what? We don't need to be on the internet. I mean, so it's like.
Yeah, this was too early.
Yeah, in that way, right?
Yeah, man.
So yeah. So, but then you live and learn.
Long before there was Google,
Yeah, you definitely live and learn. So that's a great question. So. Yeah. So our friendship. So what about our friendship? Because like. In terms, go ahead.
So here's the thing. So it's interesting. I'll say this, right? G has been really one of my closest friends for a very, very long time. When we met in high school in Jamaica, crazy as it is.
Yeah, imagine that, right?
And this is a few years now. When we met in high school, to me, I was attracted to Guinette because of her beauty, in some way, physically. But definitively, why is...
I know.
Oh,
like that impressive? It's usually can.
Anyway.
Wow. Okay.
Here it is. Yeah, it looks like
Cancel my show.
it's
Okay.
the school of the child.
Oh my gosh.
It's
okay.
She's But no, so so in terms of, obviously G is beautiful to look at.
Thank you.
But very, very quickly, as we became friends in these times in high school, I immediately loved G for who she was. Funny, because I told her even then that a large part of what I loved was that she reminded me of me. Like, no, sincerely, it's rare that you find people in life that really click so much with your thinking and your way of sort of like navigating the world. And very, very early, I mean, shoot, like Guinette said, I was 18 at the time. And it was just like, yo, this girl is so cool. She's just like me. I know that's crazy to say, but it's my truth. That's what I felt. That's how I looked at it. And so it was so cool. And over the years, so we knew each other 10 years before we got married.
Yeah.
And then we were married for 17 years. So that I'm not
Long
even gonna go
time.
with, and
It's a
then
long
since
time.
since marriage is another bunch of years. So if you add it up, it's a lot of years. But when you check into it, like why we've remained friends this entire time is some of the things I mentioned earlier. Honest. We've been brutally
Always.
honest with each other
No
the entire
secrets.
time.
Right?
Well, no.
Oh, hold on. Okay. I don't have any secrets. I told
I'm-
you everything.
I'm teasing.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Never.
You
I
know,
can't.
You
Yeah,
know
I
my
can't.
life.
Yeah.
There have been no
I
secrets
can't keep a secret
whatsoever.
from David. I mean, after work, he would like me to keep some secrets.
I would like some of them to be secrets. Yeah, I don't need some of the information. It's too much. But we've genuinely
gosh.
been very brutally honest with each other. I
Yeah.
mean, G will tell you, I'll mash her up because when she do foolishness,
Oh, yeah.
I will beat her up over it. I'm like, stop the
But he
foolishness.
says beat me up. This is
Oh,
not
no,
physically.
no.
This is
No,
all
I am not in anything physical with
physical. No,
anybody.
nothing.
Period.
No.
So,
Just to make it clear.
yeah, beat her up verbally
Yeah.
and intellectually to
Yeah.
say, yo, stop
Yeah.
the foolishness.
Yes, Jasmine, friendship first.
Oh yeah, man, we have been great friends this
Yeah.
entire time. Genuine friends, love each other, love, not in love.
Yeah.
People do this in love thing. I don't subscribe to in love. I know that
Some people are not gonna like that,
Yeah.
but that's true. Yeah.
it's just me.
So
I'm
he
not
doesn't,
telling
David
anybody
doesn't
how
believe
to
in
think.
love. Just love.
It's not
But
about
it's wrong.
believe.
But
I
it's
don't
not.
participate in that.
Okay.
I don't participate in being in love. I
Okay.
don't do the infatuation to the in love, where you
Yeah.
roll this sense of it's like you're a fan of the person that you like.
I do that.
Right, yes.
I
I
do.
know you do it. I don't do that.
I think it's exciting. Like I think you might.
It is
I
exciting.
think you're missing out some excitement when you do that.
I'm okay. I have so much excitement. I'm good to skip that extra excitement.
Yeah, I love I love the feeling of like the crush and excitement and looking
Yeah.
forward to seeing you get looking forward to see the person.
Oh, I
or-
have all of that.
Okay.
Especially if I'm getting to have sex with that person.
Yeah, you really
There's
look
a real
forward-
draw. I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to the sex. But I'm not looking forward to it in an infatuated way.
Ah.
I'm not looking forward to it in some, what I would like to call, when you use that infatuation, it's sort of like that insanity in the relationship.
Yeah.
And I try to really always stay very level.
You're so practical.
I'm very
I have
practical,
some of that, but not as much as you.
extremely logical, and well,
Yeah.
some comments here. It is
Yeah.
yeah,
Brutal
so-
honesty is a key.
Yeah, so yeah, brutal
Tyrone.
honesty.
This is
and-
on my timeline, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to make sure because sometimes I get off. This
Yeah, man.
17-year-old doing this work here.
Cool.
In love is amazing. Davey, you should try. I know, right?
So Jasmine, all right. So here's the thing. How do you get to in love? Explain the process to me. So you're here. I don't know if you can type fast enough, but how do you get to be in love?
Because David, you love the person, right?
Right.
And
I
you're-
love
right.
deeply.
And then you're sexually attracted.
I have sexual attraction.
And you're having sex and you're
And-
enjoying it.
yes.
And you enjoy the person's company.
Absolutely.
And you're enjoying romance.
Absolutely.
So okay. And so we'll hear what Jazz says. How
Yeah,
do you get
so
from
how-
so he's doing all these
I
things.
do all the things.
but you're not
that
feeling-
I'm enjoying. I'm having all the excitement, all the fun, tons of great interaction.
So let me ask you this. So
what does
there's-
in love mean?
You're planning an exciting evening. The woman that you're with is coming over,
Mhm.
and then she says she can't come. Do you feel like great disappointment, or you're like, how do you feel?
Well, I wouldn't call it great disappointment, but disappointment.
Disappointment. Just curious of like where you are with that. Yeah.
Yeah. No man, listen. No, I'm a guy that has deep feelings of it's a choice. Allow yourself to
I
be
love
vulnerable.
that.
Yeah, I don't do that part.
And exposed. I
Nope.
understand.
I'm happy
I like
to
that,
do
Jazz.
all of the love without the vulnerable and exposed.
Yeah.
I don't need it. Why do I need that?
Well, because I think the in love gets you. It's somewhere else. It's just a beautiful feeling, right? But then if it ends,
No.
you mash up.
Yeah, I'm not doing the end mashup thing.
Yeah.
And it's interesting. So Jasmine, I said this to you. So I married you.
Yeah.
We had a fantastic marriage.
Really?
Beautiful. We have been great friends. We were friends before. We had a wonderful marriage.
We did, yeah.
1 year into our marriage, G tells me that she's gay.
Yeah.
1 year in, and we stayed together another 16 years, enjoying the most incredible
Yeah.
love relationship without being in love. I didn't need in love, and I'm still a great friend. We ended our marriage. We're still the best friends.
Yeah.
Everybody who sees us knows the
I was
genuine
in
love
love.
and
I'm
affection.
in love. I'm an in love person.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And that's good, and it works for you. I
Right.
didn't need that.
Okay.
Commitment, listen, we would still be married today
Right.
if it weren't for some things that were not in my control. Like, I
Right.
had no reason I was living an extremely happy, wonderful life with a person that I loved, cared for, committed to, and there was nothing that would ever have gotten in the way of it, except that it was something I could not control.
Right.
I don't know if I need in love. So I don't know. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it hasn't found me. So we'll see.
How do you truly feel if you're not vulnerable and exposed? That's a good question.
I don't know that I need to be vulnerable or exposed.
No, but
to
she
truly
said, but
feel.
how do you feel? Are you feeling? Are you feeling?
I feel, like I just described, love.
Okay.
When so just like, for example, let's go to a different space. And I'm going to answer all questions. So bring them on.
Yeah, you ask the questions now.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I love my children. I don't need to feel vulnerable with them to experience a fantastic relationship with them.
Right.
I love my parents. I don't need to feel vulnerable to have an expression.
Right.
So let's keep going.
Right.
I have my best friends, male friends, who I have a great relationship with. And I don't need to feel vulnerable. Like, part of the fantastic nature of a relationship is in the stability of we're dependably there for each other no matter what.
Right.
Where is the part that we need to feel vulnerable?
Look at Richard's question, which actually ties into that.
David, do you feel a greater depth of emotional intimacy with people you are romantically involved with than bona fide friends, or the same thing? No, I'm going to say that it's pretty much the same thing, Rich. And
you're just having sex with some people.
Right.
Yeah.
And so in terms of the emotional, he doesn't say emotional intimacy.
Right.
So my best male friend and my best female friend and my best lover friend, I enjoy the same emotional intimacy with them all.
Okay.
I am willing to give that emotional intimacy to more people than just my sexual partner.
Okay.
And I think that's something that's a fantastic trait. Now, others may feel differently, but I certainly don't see a problem with sharing that emotional intimacy with more than one person.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Simply my perspective.
Yeah, and then Karen is asking, do you feel bliss?
All the time.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me, Karen?
Can you tell? Look at this guy.
Yeah. Like,
that's a good question.
As a matter of
Do you
fact,
feel it?
Karen, I'm going to go as far as to say that I think that there is even a greater sense of bliss when you don't have to have this type of relationship with somebody who's a sexual partner. Look at me and G. Look at the relationship that we have. It is actually still very blissful without any sexual intimacy whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
that's a good point. Yeah.
I mean, there's genuinely, like, I have no doubt. It's almost like this. Like, I can actually say without question that I can achieve an intellectual orgasm from certain types of interactions with close friends, because it's an intellectual stimulation beyond a certain point. I don't need the physical to have that.
Right.
And I think that that's something you can achieve with multiple people, where it's like you're so in tune in terms of your connection through friendship with that person that you can have this extremely high. I don't know if I want to, but let's just say, yes, do I feel bliss? Absolutely. There is bliss in platonic relationships too.
Okay, interesting. Here we go. More. Okay. I love you without knowing. Okay, you might do it on your phone. Yeah. You guys have broken barriers. Amazing. Thank you, Karen. And we're going to pull up what Jasmine said. Can you get to it?
I'm trying to find back the feed, sorry.
Okay, that's fine.
Here we go. Alright, so bingo. Here. I love you without knowing how or when or from where. I love you simply without problems or pride. I love you in this way because I do not know any other way of loving but this, in which there is, Okay. So, I love you simply without problems or pride. I love you in this way because I do not know any other way of loving but this, in which there is no I or you, so intimate that your hand upon my chest is my hand. So intimate that when I fall asleep, your eyes close. This quote by Pablo Neruda really sums up what it's like to be in love. And here I disagree, because I have had all those feelings without being in love. Okay. I think that it's maybe the label that people are putting on stuff. Because I've had all of those feelings and I've never been in this state of in loveness. Okay. Or maybe I'm using the wrong words to describe what I feel. But those feelings which are being described here is what I consider love.
So maybe you
I don't
have
need the in part in front.
So maybe it's just semantics for you.
It is maybe semantics. But I'm saying to you, I have this for people without intimate relations.
Oh, okay.
So just like right now, me and G, I feel this way. But we don't have a sexual relationship,
No.
and we don't need to.
No.
So
Yeah.
I don't know if that's in love. You have a platonic friendship that's in love. No, that's just
We
love.
love each other deeply.
We love each other deeply, and so I have these
Richard
feelings.
is saying semantics. Yeah,
Yeah.
oh, he said jinx. Yeah, I'm thinking that too. Yeah. So I'm.
I don't know. It's like, but then
Yeah, that's right. I kind of lost my train of thought. That's what I was
no,
like, hold
but
on,
so I, again, to be real, I have. I should bring up. I have a few best friends named Sean. Anyway, Sean Henry, who is potentially will see this in a few minutes, if not seeing it now live, is one of my absolute best friends in the world. And Sean Henry is to me my brother, even though we didn't come from the same father or the same mother.
Right.
We are so close, we are so tight, we are so in tune. We don't have to talk to each other every day, and then there are times when we talk to each other all day.
Right.
There are times when we just be on a connection live. He's in Jamaica, I'm here in Florida, and we don't even say a word. We just have the phone line open.
Yeah.
But there's an in-tune connection that's so great and so deep that I have these same feelings for someone who is a platonic friend. We've never had sex. Me and G had sex and have had children.
Yeah.
But I can have the same feeling for somebody I've never had sex with and will never have children with and will never be married to. And it's still such a close friend. And I'm so in tune and I'm so dedicated to and committed to that friend that I love that friend so deeply. I don't think it's in love, but it's love. And I have all these same types of feelings.
Love, yes.
Yeah. If I put my hand on my brother's chest, him not going to think I'm going to feel him up. I'm going to say, blood, that's my hand on my chest. Because we're like blood, we're like brothers. We're so deeply entrenched in our friendship and our trust and in what we've given to each other that to me there is no question that this is that deep love, and I don't call that in love.
Right.
I think in love for me, and again it might be semantics, comes out of a place of infatuation. This is how you get to being in love. You've passed infatuation, you've gone to the next phase, and you don't yet reach what I define as true love. So I typically skip infatuation and skip in love, and I just deal with true love where you give all and you don't, like literally it's not about even how the other person is perceived in your mind, but it's about how you connect with that person and what you guys have as a bond together. So
okay, great. Well, that was a great conversation on love. Yeah, I love all the interaction. Thank you for the push and the questions and the quotes and everything. I thought it was great. We'll talk a little bit about you being an ally. I don't know what the time is. I'm sure it's probably
no man, time no matter.
Yeah,
man.
so
when we have to talk good things, we don't worry about the time.
So a little bit about David as an ally. So I'm going to start with saying I don't think David ever said, I'm an ally. I'm going to support the LGBTQ community, which just kind of happened very organically.
Definitely never considered myself an ally till maybe very recent, maybe in the last year or two, when I just keep using that word to describe me. But I don't consider myself an ally because here's I guess why. I never thought of it like I'm advocating for an entire community.
Right.
I thought I was supporting the people that I love who happen to be in the same space. David, upon another level of reasoning.
Breaking the barriers and labels.
Yeah, but really not the labels thing.
Yeah.
So generically, but I still have to work in the world, so we have to use the language of the world. So we have to use labels, unfortunately. But you're saying this thing about ally, and I'm going to say, I definitively now consider myself an ally of, I was going to say underserved, I'm going to say of people who are discriminated against in the world.
Okay.
That's what I'm an ally of. Because I love people, and I'm going to love people of any place, any station, whatever it is. So if you happen to be gay, and gay is in some way discriminated against, then I'm an ally of you. Okay. If you are a minority of other kind, whether it be to be a person of color or a person of a particular country that is being oppressed, then I'm going to be an ally of those people too. So I don't consider myself like definitively
just LGBTQ
ally. I'm a justice ally.
Yeah.
No, I happen to love people who are in the LGBT community, and I'm going to be a staunch advocate for fairness and justice for these people because I love them.
Right.
So immediately I'm an ally. But I'm much more an ally of G than I am an ally of LGBT.
Right.
It's like I'm
It just
an ally
happened.
of you.
Right.
And I love you, and I will always love you. So I will always be an advocate for you in that way.
Thank you. I always love you too. Yes.
Yeah, man.
I love that, and especially coming from our culture where there was, first of all, that we were supposed to be homophobic, and now we're not. But there's also a sense of that. Well, if you're such an ally, maybe you're a part of the community. Like people
I don't have a problem with that.
yeah, like people meaning not a part of it as an ally. Like maybe
Right.
you are also gay.
Yeah,
you know,
and
like,
I'm saying,
yeah.
And so here's the funny thing about me. Like I have no care.
We're getting so many quotes.
Okay,
This is great.
quotes are cool.
Richard says the true revolutionary is guided by great feelings of love. Yes,
Yeah, man,
check.
I'm down
yeah.
with it.
David,
Yeah, man.
you're deep. Yeah, man. David
Karen,
is.
if you
Let me
wanna
tell you,
know.
intellectual. I want to tell you that the first time when me and David started talking, so we're at high school campus in Jamaica, and I had recently moved to just down the road where I could walk. My mom used to have to get me or my dad, and now I could just walk and leave whenever. And I just remember talking to David and just being like, I am not leaving this campus. Like I used to leave like soon after school and go and stuff, and I was just like, we would just talk and talk, and everybody's leaving, everybody's getting picked up, and it's like hours later, and I'm like, I'm staying right here to talk to this guy. I'm not leaving. So yeah, man, the intellectual, cute guy too, but the conversation that we would have, but still, yeah.
Yeah, man. No, man. Cool. So here's the thing. So in all of how I think, the truth is that at the end of it all, I want to support the people who I think deserve support.
Thank you.
And it's about character. Again, I said this earlier, but I repeat. Things like honesty, things like being ethical, things like being fair, those things are so important to me. And I grew up the product of some pretty amazing parents, I got to tell you.
Yeah.
Both my mom and my dad are beyond amazing characters. Their true spirit of generosity and love are partly why I am who I am. And don't get me wrong, they were not perfect. I had my issues, and I certainly spoke to my parents about my issues with them, and I was adamant that they could have been better people. And I don't think that I am the best person I can be, but I'm going to always try to be the best person I can be. And so, I advocate for fairness and love and for justice and for ethicalness, and which is, I'm not even going to say
No, what I was going to say,
Yeah.
that I do want to also touch on something, because I think like we're sharing things, someone just said here, that this is all very, okay, great advice, Jasmine says on here. Is it Tijuana? Fountain, thanks for joining. Thanks to everyone for joining. And I'm seeing a lot of people who've been coming every week. I really appreciate it. But I like that we're helping people, and one of the things that you've helped me so much with is the letting go. We've talked about it, but letting go of judgment, because I tell people, and some people may not know, but one of the hardest things for me to be myself was just really worried about what people would think about me. What people would think about, I remember when, I wasn't openly gay and I was a woman, I was scared that people could discover me, and worrying about what would people think, and also wanted to wear, like, dress the way I dress with a tie, and just be more masculine, which is how I feel comfortable my entire life. My whole memory is feeling comfortable, more masculine, and going back and forth. But it's really feeling that fear, and David really encouraging me to let go. And that's something that I think has just been one of the greatest gifts from you, in addition to my wonderful son and him being a wonderful father and wonderful husband and now wonderful friend, Exy, my sexy Exy. But I just feel like just that, and sometimes I have to remind myself, I might get a little concerned about something, and I kind of say to myself, gee, hold on.
Press the other button.
Okay. Yeah,
sorry for that interruption, people.
My phone is just my phone. I need to just
a lot of things are happening.
Yeah. So is that Linda there? I just saw like her come up there, I think. So hey, yeah. So
Linda is watching.
Yay! Thanks for joining. Yeah. So many people.
Hey
here.
Denise.
Yeah.
Hi Linda.
You. Yeah. So what I was touching on is just David helping with letting go of judgment, and sometimes even though I feel I've come a long way, like I was scared to leave the house the first time I was like this, right? And it was really because of what I felt people would think. So to get to that, and then every once in a while I have to check myself, like, hold on, I'm worrying, like, don't worry about that, just be yourself fully. Nick Harris, what's up, Nick? There's no way you can hang with David for any significant time and care what others think, right? His attitude is contagious. You know, it's so true. So yes, I'm saying I have to check myself because I feel confident. But once in a while, because I'm human and grew up in this world, I might still, I'm like, no, don't worry what people think. Don't worry what people think. This is just about you and being yourself.
Yeah,
and you're not hurting anybody.
The key is if you can be yourself.
Just be yourself.
If you can know yourself, I mean, I talked about it in business earlier. The key in life is knowing yourself. If you get to know yourself, know truly who you are, what you love, what you want to accomplish, then everything has become so easy because then you don't care about anything that anybody else thinks.
Right.
Like the only thing that I care about when it comes to thinking is what the people that I love and care about think about me. I want the people that I love and care about to love and care about me back. Because that's no fun if you love somebody or a group of people and they don't love you back. No, you can't live for that.
We can't, because suppose I'm like,
Certainly.
this person doesn't want me to be gay.
No, hang on. Loving somebody and in love are very different things.
Yeah. Oh, you're saying the person that you're in love with?
I'm not saying ignore. There is no need
There's
for
no
love.
Okay.
It's you're gonna love, and if you love somebody, then they're gonna have the characteristics of what deserves love from you.
Okay. Yes. Exactly.
Exactly.
So if they're not supportive of you, you can't love them.
Then
Like,
why would you love someone who doesn't
support you
for who you are?
Right. Exactly.
In all things, authentic is critical.
Right.
And if you live authentically as yourself in everything that you do, like what is there in the life to worry about? It's like everything is so good, which is why when people always ask me like, why are you so happy all the time? I'm like, how can I be anything but happy all the time?
Right.
Life is so spectacular, and I am able to live myself genuinely all the time. So it's this crazy space where even on Sunday, I was at Joy Festival.
Oh, that was
and
hilarious.
I ended up dancing for, maybe I shouldn't even call it dancing.
It is dancing.
Throwing my body around on stage for a few minutes and people were laughing at me. And it's okay. Because you know why? I was enjoying myself and I was enjoying the moment and I live free in every moment. Yeah. I have no shame tree. It burned down long time.
Yes, I love that too. David is never embarrassed.
I cannot be embarrassed by anything.
Yeah,
I'm living authentically me.
Right.
What is there to be embarrassed by? Myself?
Right.
I cannot be.
So I think, so Jerk Festival is a big concert and food festival in South Florida where we are. And a lot of people sent me this video. David was shooting photography on stage, and so the person who's performing said, "Put it down,
ding dong,
and told him to."
Camera.
So I get all these videos, and it's on his page. Can you pull it up and show people? Or you don't want to show people?
They can go to my page. Anybody just go to my Facebook page.
David, I'm Muir.
A few posts,
and it's like this cute video where you see David doing some Jamaican dance, and it's I love that freedom.
Right.
And I feel like there was a time where I would have been shy, and then a time I was like, I don't care, I cannot really dance, but I will dance. Yeah. You know, I will dance.
And I don't dance a lot.
Yeah.
But when I want to dance, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to dance and I will be fine.
Denise Hart here saying, Denise Hart Martin.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, greetings.
And Denise, I plan to be there on Saturday, but if I don't make it, don't be upset. I might end up in LA this weekend. I didn't really plan for that, but it might just happen. Which picture is this?
I wanted to show that family picture you have.
Oh my God. Well, who is those people?
I know.
That's a long time.
So I think we're going to be wrapping up. What time is it? I have no idea.
This just shows the feed. The watch says, whoa.
Wow, this is long.
It's close to 7.
Yeah, I would like that, yes. Yeah.
Kara, you don't have to, you could.
Yeah.
Right, dusty man.
Oh, wow. I have to. Can I get something to dust it too, please? Thank you. So well, thank you everyone for joining. Really special.
This is a long
chat. Good chat. I've been wanting to bring David back on. David, you are free.
Dust it off, Kara.
Okay, David, you are free.
And real.
He really is. What stresses him? I love that question.
I really get stressed, Karen, but I think if I'm going to be stressed, it's a lack of sex. So I know this is.
Love you too, Linda.
This is kind of funny. I have not had a lack of sex frequently in my life. However, if there's a time that I'm going to be stressed, it's lack of sex. I could not be stressed out for money, and I could not be stressed out for food. And I live so genuinely with my friends and my family that the only thing is if I don't have somebody to be intimate with. That's the only thing, and that's been a long time, but it can happen.
I want to say that David never worries. If David worries about something, I get terrified because nothing. You could be in a plane that's good like this, and he's like, "What? There's
Yeah,
nothing
well-
big. He's like, the plane's not crashing. I'm like, no, but David, it's good. He's like, no, it's fine.
Exactly.
So everything is not a problem. That's
It's
the typical
absolutely.
Jamaican. There's no, so if David said something's a problem, then I'm literally like, oh my God, this is not good. But I just wanted to show you guys this. So this is David's studio here, and he has a framed picture of our family. I don't know if you can see this here. This is,
Go ahead. keep
yeah,
talking.
yeah. So this is show people. Some people have seen, but like this is probably about 10 years ago. This is
Easy.
our baby who's now 17.
It's actually about 14 years old.
Oh
I
my
don't know,
gosh!
it's-
So
it's a
yeah,
minute.
I have on like a peach dress with a little. At least I have on a blazer with it.
Yeah,
I like that I have on like a little peach blazer with it, and my hair, I was dreading it. So yeah, that's our back in during our marriage days.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, David graduated with his master's
That
degree.
was my master's, yeah, man.
Yeah.
Master's
So
degree.
yeah, so thank you, Anne-Marie, Linda, Nick, Jazz, everybody, Karen, Rich,
Yeah,
a bunch
man.
of people have joined.
Friends and family.
Everybody,
abound.
thank you so much for
Everybody,
joining us.
Big up, big up.
Join me every Tuesday, 6 p.m. EST. And I gotta always share. I think you guys have heard me talk about it. What?
Them say they want to come closer to the camera.
Oh, there you go. Put it right there. That's fine. You can get a couple of laughs. Look at the boys. Look at me. I had on a blazer over the dress. Yes, so I need to always share that the next Dark Woman big event, March 1st through 3rd. This man has been helping me a lot, you know, so want to big you up for that too.
Yeah, man.
Right? I got Nick also helping, got a bunch of people who are helping, and I really appreciate it. And March 1st through 3rd, we're going to do the Facebook group page to make sure everybody knows, but there's a website, thouartwoman.com. Go to thouartwoman.com. When you click get tickets, it's gonna let you RSVP.
It's THOU Art Woman. It's Thou Art Woman.
I know. I'm just trying to help people with the spelling.
Thou.
THOUART woman. So thouartwoman.com.
See there. Somebody just put the website in the feed so others can click on it.
So
Everybody should check that out. And we started this feed talking about David as an entrepreneur, and I've genuinely been my whole life. No matter what even when I work for other people, I've always been an entrepreneur, taking brief moments because as a parent and a husband, I at times had to do stable things.
Yeah.
But even though this is my ex-wife and we're no longer married, we're not ex-friends, we're best friends, same way, and we still do many things together, including business. So part of my entrepreneurial spirit is to also support G in her entrepreneurial spirit.
Thank you so much.
So, like, again, this is about being great friends. If you need, hey, look, it's Jim.
Jim,
we're actually come visit you in a
see
few.
you soon, Jim.
But yeah. So
if you guys want to see if you're in Fort Lauderdale, you can come out to
Stash
at 8 p.m. Stash is right by the Los Angeles
downtown
area.
Fort Lauderdale, baby.
And he's doing a non-binary night, the first night, so we're gonna check it out.
Yeah, man.
So,
and then after we're gonna go to next place, which G don't know yet. Surprise.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, man.
So,
Look at my look at my website. Look at my Facebook page. You'll see I posted. So there's another event happening tonight. After we go to Jim's event at Stash, we're gonna go to another event later in the night. So everybody check it out. G, you have a bedtime like 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
We're gonna break the bedtime tonight.
Oh no, my bed is gonna be texting and cursing me out.
Man, the bed going call for you, but it's alright. We're gonna go roll. So if you want to see us, if you want to link up with us, you can either come to Stash for 8 o'clock, or you can go a little bit later to the other place I posted on my Facebook page.
I saw you post something, but I didn't look at it. Really.
Yeah, man,
I know you did.
good.
So
it's one of Anne-Marie and those crew place.
Okay, well, I hope to see Anne-Marie. That would be nice.
That would be nice.
Come on down to Fort Lauderdale.
Annie, we love you.
So I want to thank you for joining me today. I don't know if we need to do queer conversation closing questions with you, because I could. I'll think about it. But I also want to say that with Thou Art Woman, one of the big pushes was we were doing an event like 2 or 3 times a year, a one-nighter, and it was growing and growing.
3 times a year.
3 times a year and growing and growing. And just to have that vision and that push to to make it this weekend. So it's actually to make it a weekend. I don't want to say this weekend like it's coming up now. Make it a weekend. And it's been a lot of work behind that. And I just really appreciate the support in growing it to that level. And we really feel like and he had a vision before. You know,
a long time.
He had a vision. He's been saying it.
This
is a beautiful night.
That needs to grow up.
Yeah. So it was
now it's growing up.
It's growing up. It's growing up. So tell people all over the world, women who love women and art, come to Fort Lauderdale. Please fly in. We're going to have a host hotel.
March 1st through 3rd.
We're actually finalizing the whole
month.
Yes, we're kicking off Women's History Month. So we're going to have a host hotel and we're going to have an art show. We're going to have a big performance night at the Broward Center for the Performing Arts.
Yeah,
And we're going to have a fabulous brunch. So plan to join
March
us
3rd.
there. David Muir.
That's right. G.
Yeah, I love this guy.
I love this lady.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. So thank you everyone for joining. Great conversation. See you next week. I feel like I could go on and on.
We could go
on and on.
I mean, come on.
Great conversation.
We
Great
can't put a
dialogue.
number of years, but it's in excess of 30 years of
Yeah,
friendship. So
yeah, really appreciate it.
It's been a
I
great
feel
ride.
blessed. I feel, even though I'm not religious, I like to say I do feel blessed. The
Yeah,
universe
Man. Yeah, man. It's a vibes.
embraces us. Okay,
For
take
real.
care, everyone.
One
Thank
love.
you.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, my pleasure. And
You
I
can't-
can never.
You can't end it. It's never to
It's
end.
never- hold on.
We're here with you forever
Let me
and
try
ever
again.
and ever.
It still didn't work. You do it.
You want me to do it?
Come on. I gotta say, why does it not? It's
Because we are meant to stay on forever.
That's so funny.
People, we're gonna go live through the whole night.
Follow
Stay
us.
with us. Follow us. We're headed to Stash next. We
Yeah.
have an hour to get down to Stash, which is just down the road.
Yeah, we'll
So we'll, in the meantime, we're gonna just plug the phone in so it can charge, and we're gonna leave you guys just watching us chatting to each other naturally in the
Good night, everyone. Thanks again. I have to get aggressive with the phone.